host, Morris Desmond from Mondays to Fridays, 4 p.m. to 6 a.m. on Kia 95.9 FM. Yeah, you're listening.
Good afternoon, folks, and welcome to another presentation of the area right here on Kia 95.9. Of course, it's the newest section in the country, and we are glad to be here this afternoon. Today is Wednesday, and it is the 14th day of the month of August, and the year is 2024. We're glad to be on your radio right across Liberia. If you're in Bone County, if you're in Magibi, if you're in Maserado, Bomi, Bakulo, and Cape Mount, wherever you are this afternoon, well, it's good to come to you with another great presentation of the program inside Liberia on Kia 95.9. And of course, I am your humble presenter. My name is Morris Desmond Brown, sitting in the presenter seat, sitting in the hot seat. And of course, it promises to be fascinating and mouth-watering to discuss those issues that matter to Liberia, digging deeper into the spectrum of political analysis, where we will unpack those issues for you right here. And you know, this is the only station that makes the difference. Of course, Liberia will get better. When we continue to talk and have concerted efforts, Liberia can be better again. And we can be proud of our country and our common patrimony, our common patrimony. It's a wonderful, wonderful Wednesday afternoon in Liberia, the nation's capital. And of course, we are right here opposite the BTC Bank, adjacent market, here Communications Network, here Radio 95.9. And again, too many things to unpack this afternoon. So for now, until the afternoon hours, we can do all and talk about all of the rolling issues in our country, Liberia. We can do the needful, give you analysis, and have your interactions on some of the issues that we will be discussing. As of next week, like we said to you earlier yesterday, we will be finding ways to talk to few of the persons we've talked to become our correspondents in several counties. And then one for when we shall have gotten the world news, African news, then we'll come to Liberia. Of course, we'll go across the counties and get reports from our correspondents to tell us exactly what is happening in those parts of the country, in different parts of the country in Western Liberia, the southern part of the country, the southeast of the country, the central region of the country, wherever we can get direct reports from those people posted. Give us right-hand and first-hand information. So again, it's inside Liberia on Kia 95.9. So tell a friend, and that friend can tell another friend, and that friend can go on telling another friend. The radio just got better for the afternoon. The best place to be right here, Radio 95.9. Right here, situated right opposite the BTC Barrack, adjacent the Radita Market. You can find us right here. Yeah, so my name is Morris Desmond Brown, and my able producer is Josh Ware. He's pretty seated, making sure the sounds are perfect. Many thanks to Josh Ware for becoming a very good producer. And so he's pretty seated, making sure the sounds are good, that we are strictly on your stream. So those of you who want to join the broadcast on the social media, you can join us on Kia Communications Network on Facebook. Again, you can join us on Kia Communications Network live on Facebook. So it's KEAR, capital K, Network, COMMUNRC, TRWNS Communications, and the network is NETWORK. So you can just plunge us right in yourself on Facebook. You have us live on your stream. Do one thing for us: share the broadcast. Once you come across the video, you can leave your comments right on the live stream, and we will read them out for you. If there are questions and suggestions, of course, leave them right there. So shortly, we'll go around the continent, around the globe. We'll take bits and pieces of news from the world, and we'll come to Africa. And then we'll end up in Liberia to talk about the rolling issues that are confronting our country, Liberia. So this is the radio service of UN Foundation, Care Communications Network. And so like I said, we're about to go around the globe. Go around Europe and we'll come back to Africa. Yeah, so every day you travel with us. Today we'll give you weather reports as well. There's something coming up in August that will be very devastating. And we need to share with you. We'll give you weather reports. So you see the show is so rich that you can't afford to miss any bit and any portion of it, because it's going to inform you. It's going to serve as a means of information. And as time goes by, as we conduct the show, we will have segment there to bring you a song, entertain, give you something very new that you will enjoy, nod your head for the enjoyment. So yeah, shortly we will go around the globe. Let's begin with international news around the globe. A Thai court dismisses Prime Minister for violating Constitution. A Thai court has dismissed Prime Minister Sarita Davision for appointing to his cabinet a former lawyer who was once jailed. The Constitutional Court ruled that Mr. Sarita had violated the rules on ethics with the display of deviant behavior. The 62-year-old Sarita, who has been in power for less than third prime minister in 16 years, and is the third in 16 years to be removed from the same court. He will be replaced by an interim leadership until talents from parliament convenes to elect a new prime minister. Stay around the globe, stay around the world, getting bits and pieces of news for you. The U.S. soldier pleads guilty to selling secrets to China. A U.S. Army analysis has pleaded guilty to charges of conspiring to sell military secrets to China. The Department of Justice, the DOJ, has said. Sergeant Kobian Shohar was arrested in March after an investigation by the FBI and the U.S. Army counterintelligence alleged that he was paid $42,000 in exchange for dozens of sensitive security records. The criminal conspiracy began in June of 2022 and continued until his arrest. Officials said he is scheduled for sentencing in January. That does it for the news around the world. We now come right to Africa. I take a bit of pieces of news from Africa. Senegal's media outlets staged a blackout day to bring attention to press freedom concerns. A media organization in Senegal staged a blackout day to protest a government crackdown. They say targets them directly and it aims at curtailing the press freedom in the West African country. Television streams were seen blanked on main TV stations like the TFM, RTV, radio outlets such as RFM radio and the IR radio were silent. Stay around Africa, getting bits and pieces of news that you can use for your day hustle. Nigerian immigration probes woman for destroying husband's passport at Lagos airport. Why did she do so? Did she destroy her husband's passport? This is concerning. But let's look at the story. Let's look at the story in depth. The Nigerian Immigration Service and NNNRS has called for an investigation into an event at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport in Lagos, Nigeria, was seen tearing a Nigerian passport. Why does he do that? Why does he tear husband's passport? Problem everywhere. According to local media reports, the woman only identified as Mrs. Favor Idibo was seen in the video confessing to damaging the passport, reportedly belonging to her husband. Despite her admission, the airport officials did not take any action but allowed her to leave with her 2 children. Folks, those are bits and pieces of news for you right here on the program. Inside Liberia. So I want to give you the weather reports on what is ahead of us. And I want all of us to listen and listen very carefully. These things might harm us if we are not careful, if we do not take decisive decisions and decisive steps in curtailing some of the things that are ahead of us in terms of weather. So our weather reports today, except for August 13 to August 22nd, 2024, our region will experience a red weather. And we experience a red weather, a phenomenon known as the aphelum. The event will occur when the distance between the Earth and the Sun increased by 66%. From 90 million kilometers to 152 kilometers. What do we expect when the weather turns that way? Colder temperature than last year, potentially leading to body aches, throat irritation, fever, cough, and respiratory issues. The phenomenon will begin on August 13 between 5 o'clock to 7 a.m. and will last until August 22nd. So what do we need to do? Boost your immune system with vitamin, water, stay hydrated. You have to stay hydrated in order to have this particular plague passing over you. It's going to be very, 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 very devastating. So that's our weather report for today. Take heed, take notes. So this will happen between the 13th of August, and you don't want to have that situation. The 13th of August, the 13th to the 22nd, there'll be a red, R-A-R-E, or you can say the rarest weather condition in our country. Yeah, so we are right here on Kia 95.9. So we are coming to talk about the rolling issues right in Liberia. Let's take a gist of our theme song. Of course, we will be right back. Don't go away. Welcome back. Several things to talk about right here on KN 5.9. So the program is inside Liberia, and of course, we are right here trying to make sure we bring you all of the happenings around Liberia. It is great being here, and this program is powered, uh, owned, and controlled by the Care Humanitarian Foundation. They are the owners of Care Communications Network, a humanitarian organization meant to bring relief to the Liberian people. Uh, an humanitarian organization that will bring you all of the humanitarian services you need. We'll be talking about sanitation. They will be in your communities doing sanitation, helping the less fortunate, helping people who are orphans, and helping different class of our citizenry. And so you can just rely on Kia Humanitarian Foundation, of course. You will see them in full flesh in the soonest possible time in your communities, talking about drainages, working on issues that confront our country. You know, Liberia is flooding, and if you just get around the country, yesterday was a terrible scene. Just I'm told that the legislature got flooded yesterday. I mean, that was quite very demeaning. Our government getting flooded. That was such a devastation for our country. But the legislature are getting flooded, and the communities adjacent, the opposite the capital Monrovia were also being flooded by heavy downpour of rain. I want to call it torrential rainfall in the city yesterday. But again, we welcome you to the Care Humanitarian Foundation. And once the full flesh and everything concerning the foundation is out, of course, every day we sit on this platform, we will give you bit and pieces of information you need to know about the Care Humanitarian Foundation. I mean, the Care Humanitarian Foundation have already started some very major work across the country. A few days and few times before the 26th, our team were out there. The less fortunate will have food, so they were distributing bags of rice, food assorted items, bags of rice, gallon of agua oil and stuff like that, issues and things and items that could keep our people, spending their 26 very well. So we want to say many thanks to our CEO, Chris, and the rest of the team in the United States, and those of you who have sent your $5, $10 to that process. It's very good that you can help someone down here. And we want to just say thank you, and let's keep doing what we do. Chris's idea is to help Liberia. His idea is to make sure that our communities are impacted positively. So we want to build our CEO for being a very, very illustrious, very hardworking and compassionate young man that he is, helping his and the team out there, the rest of the team that are working along with the CEO. Want to give you a heads up and thanks for the job you do. Let's get into the nitty gritty of some of the issues that are making rounds in our country. Before we do that, on tomorrow's Thursday, right? Yeah, on tomorrow we will announce to you how you can get to our business office. I received one or two calls from some people. They were asking how can they do business with the entity, and I told them You have to come to our office. You have to come to UN Drive, Radical, right adjacent Radical Market, opposite the BTC bags, and you can just ask for Care Communications Network. Our station is right on the road. You don't have to go inside. It's right on. You can find us, and we can talk business. You can go to our business office to talk with you. We intend to sell your products. Those of you who have goods and services that you want the public to know, you want the public to get to know what you are advertising or what you are selling, it will be a moment for you. And we are giving it at a very cheap and a lower price, other than other stations. And other stations, I'll give you that price I will give you. And we will pay more attention to promoting your products, making sure that your products are out there and you have customers um, running to your business center, making sure that they establish the contacts and friendship with you. So all you need to do is to just come to our offices here and meet our business office. You get to know them. They will talk to you. They're nice people. You the price, and we can use your product on our show market, and you can become a sponsor for the show, though, and your product can become a sponsor for this show, and we can market your product anyway, anyhow you want it. And before you know it, you are a millionaire in Liberia. So we can make you a millionaire. You don't know that? We can do it right on this radio. So you got no fear. All you need to do is to come to us and let's market your product. Several things are happening in Liberia. Several things are happening, and we will not hesitate in talking about those issues. They are very pertinent to Liberia's growth and development. And Liberia is at a crossroads. Liberia is at its renaissance. And somebody will say, at this renaissance, Liberia is at this new birth. And when I say new birth, every time you have a change of government, the next government comes with a brand new system and ideas. Their ideas may not be the same as the former, and that is why Liberia will always be at this renaissance. This English renaissance, or this word, or this vocab, or jargon renaissance is only used mostly in Liberia because in the Western world, the people are not in their renaissance. They are not in their renaissance. They always on path because they believe in something called continuity. Continuity, meaning the process of continuing what the former person have started, and you can begin from where they have stopped. Liberia do not have something. What we have is a process where people bring new innovations, they bring new ideas. Sometimes those ideas do not fit in with the system. And don't get me wrong, we are not unique Liberians. I mean, when I say we are not, I mean Liberians. We're not unique to a change of system. So that's why every time we want to effectuate a new system, we must be conscious enough that the system has been archaic. There are issues systemically with where we have come from the foundation, from the genesis, from the origin of our country's history. We know that our country is a country that has deferred from the issue regarding system, and that is any government that brings a new system, it is new. It will always be either resisted or it will be hated. Liberia is at a crossroads, and our country is at a place where it depends on Liberians to either allow this child to live or we kill this child by suffocation. I know many of you will now understand what I'm trying to say, but I will simplify. Liberia is at a crossroad. And when we are in a state of dilemma. Have you read the book Dilemma of the Ghost? The ghost is at a place where indecisive and it cannot take decisions that could impact his or her life because there are four roads that leads to the destination of this particular ghost. This ghost might go left, or might go right, or might go front or back. It depends on the decision that has been taken that could keep this ghost moving. If the ghost takes the right and it is the wrong way, it pays for the decision he has made. And the reason why keep saying A is because a ghost, and the ghost cannot be referred to as a real being. But I'm contextualizing. I'm not saying. Okay. Okay. So let them go. Okay. So we will continue to talk while our team there in Bangabong County. Are they in Banga now? Okay, so our team is in Bangabong County. They're assessing something for us. They'll call us, and of course, we will have them live on the line. So we'll be looking at our call center here. Once we see their call, of course, we'll take them. So Liberia is at a crossroad. The survivability of the country depends on each and every Liberian. The survivability of our country depends on each and every Liberian. We cannot negate the fact that our country has come a long way, and there are issues confronting our country. And the way to mitigate these issues is for us to sit at a round table. Yesterday, I made mention that the country is divided. And of course, our country is divided. I know many of you may not like what I say and the way I say it, but our country is divided. Every time you have a transition, when you have a period of hectic money in a country where the country goes through electionary period, when the country survives after that election, the next thing that should follow is a national unity conference, a national unification conference, a national reconciliatory conference. That conference allows the citizenry of a country to reunite in spite of their political diversities. Did we have such? No. Is the government thinking on reuniting the people? No. The government is not thinking because I'm seeing nothing in their matrix that talks about reconciliation. And Liberia cannot develop. Now, for some of us who have worked with the NGO sector for some time, the NGO do not erect a project in a particular locale or in a particular location without the suggestion or in the absence of the acquiescence of the locals. Because they want to know the issues confronting the particular location that they want to erect, what they're supposed to erect. So they will normally go to do a feasibility. They want to know, okay, what are the issues? Are the issues hand pump, safe drinking water? Are there issues of road connectivity? We must assess. We must have accessibility. We must know the feasibility studies must be carried out. We must know exactly what are the issues confronting this community so as to erect that particular thing that the community will appreciate. And that is the reason why Liberia is not being developed. You know why? Because We do not take the priority of the citizens into high esteem. We do not prioritize the citizens' grievances and what they want, their quest. We do not prioritize their quest. Quest, their quest. Their quest is what we should be prioritizing. That is how like appreciate their country. Because if something is given to them and they're not appreciating it, they will not know the value of that thing. They will not maintain it. It's like you give a car to a child. You know the child cannot drive. The child hasn't owned a car before. They did not own a bicycle before talking about a car. And what you do, you give that child what? Give that child a vehicle. That child, you have not asked the child, what do you want? And all of us make certain mistakes. Those mistakes are great. Even in our own homes, we do not ask our kids what they want. Instead, we impose on our kids what we want them to want. I don't know whether you understand that. Most of us in our homes, we impose on our kids what we want them to want. That way, we should ask the kids what they want. If they are out of our reach, we should talk to our kids in a way that they will understand. Liberia is facing and Liberians are facing similar challenges. We do not have the situation where our people come to us to ask us, what do we want in the country? What do we want after elections? Do we want to start running the country right after elections? Do we need to have a reconciliatory conference in order to ascertain whether the politics of the day do not divide us? Of course, in every political spectrum, there will be diversities. Every political spectrum and every political situations that are taking place in a country, there will be issues of diversities. People will have different views and people will go at loggerhead. There will be controversies. How do we maintain a safe Liberia? Is to have a reconciliatory conference in almost all of the counties, talk to the locals, talk to them on how they can coexist. In the absence of that, you can erect all of the structures. When Liberians do not appreciate those structures that you have erected, they will destroy those structures with their hands. I remember when President Weah was president of the country, there were police stations built, but the citizens destroyed those police stations because of grievances. They burned those police stations to ashes. Those police stations were destroyed because the citizens did not appreciate some of the things that were being done. We're confronted with the same thing today. Liberia cannot get better if we continue to do those things that we are doing. The government needs to prioritize a reconciliatory conference. We will have to leave from the state of being combative. Some people will say, what do I mean? But the government will have to leave from the state of being combative. And one thing we learned from the past regime, they didn't remove people from positions, especially civil settings. I know some civilians have issues, but the law provides that these people are protected by law. You cannot come to power and remove them arbitrarily. Are we having a situation of such? Yes. We're having a situation where the CSA boss is parading the corridors of our country, is gallivanting and removing people arbitrarily from payroll. He's telling another agency to dismiss people who have political discussions on issues. A civil servant should be protected by law. That's why the process provides that if a civil servant goes through the process, he is accepted as a civil servant. He can practice politics. There is nothing wrong with a civil servant expressing a political views on issues. That is why a civil servant is protected by law, because they can express whatever way they want to express, but to be civil. Why are you censoring free speech in our country? That is why the director General of the Civil Service Agency is doing in our country. He is censoring free speech that is being provided by law. The law says every man is entitled to freedom of expression, but takes responsibility of the aftermath thereof. That is, if you are speaking on free speech, basically in the country, you must be responsible. You should not insult people, and you should not go beyond your scope. Are we having that conversation today? No. The CSA boss is removing people arbitrarily. He is writing agencies and telling them, remove this person because they hold loyalty to a political party. There's nothing in the service standing order that says people cannot practice politics. There's nothing. But unfortunately for us, the current civil service director is telling Liberians and telling civil servants, you cannot be a civil servant and practice politics. You must be neutral. Where is neutrality in our country? We'll play you the voice of the CSA boss at the mandating the Merger City Corporation, MCC, to dismiss 2 employees of that entity. We'll play you the audio. And the reason why we're playing you that audio is because we want you to have first-hand information on some of the issues that we are talking about. Because we're going to expand on some things. We gave you constitutional provisions. We'll talk about the legal ramifications that are surrounded with some of the issues that are happening in our country. What does the Constitution provide as a remedy to some of the issues that are happening in the country? So we do what we can to settle this matter by talking about it. So this is the Civil Service Agency boss, Josiah Jockey. I'm sure that's his name, Josiah Jockey, and he's been talking on issues in the country. This was one of his press briefings held at the Ministry of Information. Listen to him.
So immediately relieved 9 employees engaged in dangerous and destructive media campaigns against public officials because they decided to take the president of Liberia. These actions have caused significant harm to the reputation and image of the political city corporation. The negative portrayal of government officials by these
a part of the audio that I played, I'm going to play that audio from the beginning. It clearly states that Josiah Jockey is informing the Moroccan Commission to relieve 9 employees of their position, lay them off because they have expressed political they have discussed issues regarding politics. They have engaged into posting on social media and other things. So it comes to bear to ask a very particular and critical question. It said that when you're a civil servant, you should not engage into politics, because we saw the last regime, there were civil servants in this country that were discussing politics on Facebook. They were discussing the government, the ills of the government. The government did not go after them. The government did not relieve them of their jobs. Why should discussing the presidency be a problem? Let's listen to Josiah Jockey from the beginning.
So immediately relieved 9 employees engaged in dangerous and destructive social media campaigns against public officials because they decided to take the president of Liberia. These actions have caused significant harm to the reputation and image of the Moroccan City Corporation. The negative portrayal of government officials by these employees.
Now, how can you call an employee of the MCC unscrupulous? Because the president get involved or got involved into political discussion, is that what changed their need or their nomenclature to be this country? We're far from where we're supposed to reach. That is why the issue that regards unity, that regards reconciliation, must not be taken lightly. Our country is very, very deeply divided. You may not like it when I'm saying it. You may not like it when I say so, but our country is deeply divided on political lines. The civil service do not look at political issues. What they look at is competence. They look at your competence, qualifications to do a particular job. Whatever political party you hold loyalty to, that's your case. It's up to you. But the civil service look directly into competence and qualifications. It is saddening to know that the civil service boss, Josiah, is mandating the city corporation, Moravia City Corporation, Mr. Sefa, who is the city mayor, to dismiss employees. Sadly for us, the mayor of the state of Monrovia has begun the actions of dismissing people. Are you hearing me? The civil service boss, Josiah Joke, is on audio, and I'm playing the audio, on audio discussing that the Moravia State Corporation relieved 9 employees of their positions because they discuss politics. And what does the State Corporation do? The Moravia State Corporation honors the recommendation from the CFA boss, goes ahead to send these employees letter. Liberia. Liberia is an interesting country. You know, yesterday I told you something, and I'll go over that. The problem with Liberia is the legislature. This morning on my way to work, I was opportune to listen to the Horses Committee chair on administration or something. I think, who is he? Josiah Marvin Cole or so. Josiah Marvin Cole was on one of the local stations. He was discussing how the House have decided to take actions. When I blasted the House of Representatives just yesterday, I told them that they were bringing calamity on the country because they were sitting and folding their hands in abjection. They were sitting and acting as though nothing is happening in the country, nothing terrible they need to checkmate. So they were sitting and looking at it. It is right at their doorsteps. Listen, when flood or water enters your neighbor's house, don't be happy. Guess what? Your house could be the next target. When criminals enter your neighbor's compound, help them solve that issue because your compound could be next. The same thing with the legislature. The legislature sat supporting and look at issues in the country, saw issues deteriorating. The laws of our country being derailed to the lowest degree. What did they do? They fold their hands. It is right at their doorsteps. Do you know that a few days ago, Josiah Joker went at the legislature and he was demanding that the legislature gain access to making sure that he do head counts? Now, there is a difference between standing order and an act that created a particular place. Standing order and laws are not the same. The executive standing order, or maybe a particular portion of it talks about it does not supersede the laws of the country. It do not supersede the laws of the country. It do not supersede the laws of the country. So when you hear people say the standing order say the standing order do not supersede. So Josiah Joker is here saying that they should dismiss 9 of the employees. because they discuss politics. And I have in my possession, I'll show it on screen. And everything I say here, I'll have facts. I will not say anything that I don't have proof to. I'll show you 2 of the letters that have been sent to the 9 out of the 9 employees. 2 letters have already been sent. Read them of their posts because they discuss politics on Facebook. Where is the law that guarantees freedom of expression in the country? Where is that law? Where is the law that guarantees that one can exercise his or her political rights from staying from issues regarding the country? They can discuss issues of our country through freedom of expression, and they cannot be censored by anyone. The current head of the CSA is wanting to censor everybody working with government, that they should not be, everybody should be for Unity Party. No, it's not possible. The over 100,000 or 1,000 civil servants you have, all cannot be a unit. They can be Unity partisans. It's not possible. There will be issues. There will be people who will have political loyalty to different political parties. Does that negate the fact that they cannot do their work? Let's listen to him before we read the letters that we have in our possession.
Officials comment after the such unacceptable correction to immediately review 9 employees engaged in dangerous and destructive social media campaigns against public officials to discredit the president of Liberia. These actions have caused significant harm to the reputation and image of the Colombian City College.
So, in this folio, that nobody in this country is supposed to discuss the office of the president because he is CFA boss. So, because he's CFA boss, nobody is supposed to discuss the office of the president when you are working in government. Are you kidding me? What is this country turning into? Where is the freedom of expression that's been guaranteed by law? And that is why I blasted the lawmakers yesterday, the House of Representatives and the legislature in generality, that they weren't taking the things that they should take. That is why the country is fast retrogressing in terms of law. The country is degenerating into a state of anarchy because the country is not being regulated. How can a man in the executive branch of the government of the country go to the legislative branch to censor what the legislative branch does in that branch of government? How does this happen? Which country does this happen? When the Constitution was clear that there will be 3 branches of our government, they will work separately, but they will work in collaboration. So you can make suggestions. The executive can make suggestions to the legislature can make suggestions to the executive, vice versa. The same with the judiciary. But you cannot go to mandate the legislature to conform to reform that you say you want from the executive. That reform stops with the executive. The legislature must craft rules. That is why if you read the laws of the country, it gives exclusively. It gives exclusivity to nature to enact laws, to do things that will suit the country. But you know what? I'm taking aback that the 55th legislature is just sitting and allowing things to degenerate in the country. A CFA boss is behaving as though he's the Rambo of the country. He's on the war front. He's here, he's there, he's the other place, he's dismissing people. Look at the situation that happened at the Ministry of Labor. It is the same CSA boss Josiah Duquesne that wrote a communication to the Ministry of Labor to relieve 51 persons out of the employment of the government. 31 is that no play. 31 is that joke. That's a small number. That number you can just say that and say, yeah, 31, yeah. Okay, 51. If people have 10 persons to feed, let's do the math. Let's do the math. Many of you are mathematicians. 51 times 10. And you will know how many persons have been taken out of job already. So if each of these people have 10 persons to feed, I know it's far more than that, but we take it on the average of 10. So you know what we're talking about? We're talking about more than 510 persons being laid off. 510 persons going below the poverty line only because of political interest, only because this civil service boss believe that nobody in this country should talk to the president, nobody should express their view on issues in the country because the president is a demigod. No, the president is not a demigod. The president is the servant of the country. He's the one that comes to serve. Just stop misleading the president of the country. Stop misleading this old man. Stop telling this old man to do things that will degenerate this country into chaos. And if care is not taken, the country will degenerate into what it shouldn't degenerate into. Liberia is old enough to maintain law and order. You cannot say you want to dismiss 9 employees of the MCC because they express political issues on social media. I mean, this is barbaric. It is nefarious. It is disingenuous. It is paranoid. And it should not happen in a civilized society like ours. It should not. Liberia has come in our political dispensation. We should not allow things to degenerate. We should not allow that. I will go now to pull the letter out for you. And I want you to know that whatever we say here, we're saying it because we want the public to know the truth. We do not belong to a side. All we want to see is a country, Liberia. This is a letter addressed to one of the employees, Mr. Boy Kokoi. If you see, I don't know whether George, we can have a way clearer enough to show to the public this letter. I don't know whether we can do something to show it clearer to the public. George, if you have a service call, this letter I want us to show this letter to the public. Let the public know exactly what. I'm sorry that I'm doing it to you lately. How we can put out the letter, that the MCC have already started to dismiss our own employees. So there are 2 of them, 2 letters that I have in my possession already, that they have relieved these people of their positions. One Mr. Kokwe and one Mr. Gray. They all have been relieved because the Civil Service Agency Director General, Mr. Josiah Joke, is saying that these people do not have the right to discuss political issues. Imagine this. This is so heartbreaking. This is heartbreaking. This is heartbreaking. So we'll show you the letter, we'll show you one, then we can read them. We can read the letter right here so that you get to know what is happening before, you say we are speculating. We are not. Everything we say here, we stand for the fact, and we stand for the truth. And so everything we say here, we will do our best to making sure that you have first-hand information. We'll read the letter out verbatim. When I say verbatim, I mean word for word. Yeah, yeah, me say verbatim, or suppose can say verbatim. Verbatim, we will read the word verbatim. We'll read that letter word for word, and you will see what is placed in the letter as a dismissal for these people. This is troubling. This is not the Liberia that we all fought for. And the government, and that is what I said, the government is deviating from the arrest agenda. That arrest agenda was meant for tourism, was meant for this, it was meant for several other things that they should have, done. Sanitation, all the different things, they should have done it. That is the reason for the arrest agenda. It's not to deviate from it and start to dismiss people arbitrarily because they express a view from political issues in the country. How does that work? It doesn't work that way. Our country has come so far to start to degenerate into a chaotic state, a state of barbarism, where our country is retrogressing by the day due to no law and order. We can't continue on that path. We can't continue on that footing. Our country will have to survive. The survivability of our country depends on us Liberians to stand up and speak to the fact. And that is why we in the media, we are standing up now, because if we don't stand up now, we can stand no further, no later. The civil service boss or the agency director general is asking the Memorial Center Corporation, say, dismiss such and so employee, and the MCC say yes, we'll go by your recommendation, we'll relieve these people because they criticize the president. How many people in this country do not criticize the establishment? We didn't have a case where these people were being removed from their jobs because they express political issues or they have discussed politics. The uptakes in this government is so enormous. The uptakes in this government is so bad, and the excesses of this government, they need to work on some of the excesses that they have. They have to work on those excesses. If it is not the LDA having issues, it is the civil service agency. If not the civil service agency, there is some kind of agency having issues in the country because the president is not performing his duty as a president. And I'll read that Musa Belete wrote. We want to checkmate some of these things. I'll read you a law. I'll read you what the Constitution says about the civil service agency. Similar situation or similar thing happened at the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. The new Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission was established, and before you know it, the tenure of Mr. Edwin Claremont came to an end. The same thing could happen to Josiah Joker if he's not careful. The same thing could happen if he's not careful. The same thing could happen if he's not careful. So this is the letter. Those of you on the social media, we read for you verbatim. This is the letter. It was addressed yesterday to Mr. Boyd Kokwe, Revenue Agent or Distribution Revenue Manager Department, Moravia City Corporation. Said, dear Mr. Kokwe, read with us. Those of you online on the social media, you can read with us. So dear Mr. Kokwe, it's a subject letter of termination. Your employment service with the Monrovia City Corporation is hereby terminated with immediate effect. Said termination emanates from your constant and deliberate action portrayed on social media by in raking issues at His Excellency Joseph Newman Boakai, Sr., President of the Republic of Liberia, and government officials, including the government of Liberia, relentlessly without any regards for your office position as revenue agent or distribution of the Monrovia City Corporation. However, this clearly demonstrates your gross disregard for your statutory duty and responsibilities and accounts to ethical violations and gross breaches of your duties and contained in the Monrovia City Corporation Human Resource Policy and the Labor Law of Liberia. So George is trying to copy the letter for you so that you can get clearly as I read. The administrative action is in consonance, section 6.2 Code of Conduct, subsection 6.2.1.32. Neutrally, participation in strike and protest of the Human Resource Policy Manual of the Monrovia City Corporation and the Labor Law of Liberia, section 1508, dismissal of an employee, section 6C. Management wishes to extend appreciation to you for your services rendered and request that you turn over all properties of the city government of Monrovia within the possession to the Human Resource Department, including identification card of the corporation. Sincerely yours, John Chunk Siafa, Mayor, City of Monrovia. That is the letter. That is the first letter for you. The similar letter was sent to Mr. Alpha G. Gray. Alpha G. Gray got similar letter. This country is interesting. And the interesting part of the whole thing, we'll go into God. Those of you on the social media, you have seen the first letter, right? We're about to upload the second letter for you. And we'll read that letter. So the people say because the man engaged into discussing politics, so the relieving of his job. Folks, our country is in a very serious problem. And after which I will read you something from April Darasteno, Senator of Monserrate County. I'll read you something from Musa Hassan Belete, representative of District Number 7, Nima County. I'll read you these things. And the reason I'm reading all of these things is to keep our country in check. I think Josiah Joker is crossing the red line. And what he's doing, he is plunging the government into chaos and confusion in the near future, because there will be times, there will be issues that people will not handle rightly, and it is spilled into trouble. There could be a bad spillage on the government. There could be a bad spillage on the government. The government may have a very good intention to keep the country running, but some folks in the government are acting wrongly, and they are not being retributed, they are not being punished, they are not being called to book for some of the things that they're doing. And I think it needs to stop. It needs to stop. This is the real reason, or this is the real nomenclature and the meaning of the thing they call witch hunt right here. Because I know having Barney Gray to be a CDC man. I know so. I know so for a fact. So to discuss issues of politics, is that supposed to? When the Constitution provides freedom of expression, it did say when you are a civil servant, do not discuss politics. There is no law in this country, not any standing order, not any human resource management act in a particular supersedes the Constitution. I challenge today, tomorrow, any individual who wants to legally and discuss this issue on a legal basis will look at the legal ramifications that no in this country surpasses the Constitution of the Republic. No act. The Constitution of the country is the governing laws of the country. Any act coming in conflict with the Constitution takes supremacy. That is exactly what it is. That is exactly what it is. So for some of you to be parading and be talking, yeah, we owe loyalty to no one. If the opposition slips, of course, we'll put them on track. When the government slips, we'll correct the government. Because it's important to note that our country cannot survive if there are crises. The country cannot survive if there are crises. Our country cannot survive if there are crises. And the way to settle these things is to allow our country and our people to know that until these things can be remedied, we cannot have a peaceful Liberia. And that is why you see now why it's important to have what we call a reconciliatory conference in the country. It's important. The country is deeply divided, either on political lines or tribal lines. Look at the government today. The government is 90% a local county government. And people now having issues. They are having issues why the country is squarely a local county government. Why? Why is the government a local county government? Minister of Internal Affairs, LOFA. AFL, LOFA. You take the other ministry, LOFA. Commerce ministry, LOFA. The incoming Minister of Finance that we are hearing about, LOFA. Everywhere in the country is LOFA. LOFA. It's LOFA. So again, we can continue to allow the government to swing in what they are swimming in, and we allow these things to flow. Or say this water under the bridge. No, not possible. Get the water under the bridge. So we're putting out the second letter for you. We read out everything as well. Once we have that letter out on your screen, yeah, there it is. We can read it now. So again, Human Resource Department, August 13, 2024, Mr. Alpha G. Gray, Public Relations Officer, Press, Public Affairs Department, Monrovia City Corporation. The whole mouthpiece of the MCC is very removed from his position. Let's read. The number of the teams of the called 26. Okay, so let's see whether we can take our team. Hello, good afternoon. Okay, we missed that call. But let's read you. We'll still be looking at the phone. We have our team in Banga. We will have to talk to them to give us feedback on some of the things that they're doing. So yes, let's read the letter together. Dear Mr. Gray, subject letter of termination. Your employment service with the Monrovia City Corporation is hereby terminated with immediate effect. Said termination emanates from your constant and deliberate action portrayed on social media by enraging insults at His Excellency Ambassador Joseph Newman Boyka, Senior President of the Republic of Liberia, and government officials, including Liberia, relentlessly without any regard for your official position as public relations officer of the Monrovia City Corporation. Moreover, this clearly demonstrates your gross disrespect for your statutory duties and responsibilities and amounts to ethical violations and gross breaches of your duty as contained. Let's see whether we can take another the ones. Good afternoon.
Desmond, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, yeah.
Chef, welcome to Inside Liberia. You are there in Banga or en route to Banga. Tell us.
Yeah, so thank you, Desmond, and let me say thank you to our many listeners. We are here in Martin County,
Okay.
Pacific we are.
Okay.
And we previously we made a stop in Kakata.
Okay.
Where we spoke with residents of Kakata, many of them for the first time listening to Clear Radio 95.9. They expressed their excitement, because listening to themselves. Some of them walked up and not go close to the radio, so we're distant and they say their friends to go and listen, and their friends are listening to them live on the radio, talking to one through the microphone. So, they were kind of like, wow, what kind of station is this? It's new itself, but it is still Kakapa here. And it's definitely for you or Desmond. It's a wonderful thing. Like I said this afternoon earlier on, that those in Monterado, if you want to do this too, when you have here, yes, it's short clear radio, it's short 95.9. Our frequency is crystal clear here in the county.
Okay. So what are the locals saying? Are they so excited to hearing the newest sensation? What are some of the recommendations they've made to the team?
Yeah, so it's like I said, the express are excited, and for the first time, one of the things there, this was the very first time for a radio station to come to him, and then for him to be heard on the radio, because he and I had the opportunity to, for his voice to be heard on air. So he expressed his excitement, his gratitude to Care Radio, Care Humanitarian Foundation. And another made a recommendation that he would appreciate if Care Radio will have a station in especially Katata City. So we took that into consideration. But I can tell you, we got to Wiala here, we were able to speak with the CEO of Just FM. Just FM is owned by a former representative candidate of District number 5 in County, Jonathan Cooper.
Okay.
So we had a conversation with him on how to really, even though we are here for how to relay our program, our data shows, the morning shows, the afternoon, and other news data platforms. We are trying to find that, we agreed to come up with a platform here with the Care Humanitarian Foundation so that since it is about information dissemination, it is about the media. He said, yes, he's expecting the partnership, he welcomed the art here, and also he's into agriculture, into this. Honestly, Care Radio is owned by a humanitarian foundation. So he said, oh, yeah, that's a good thing. Then I think to Robert, right, and farm on also. I'm working with art there that Bishop is coming to partner with me so I can do this. In fact, it will be a good thing because I feel to be here and do in Monterado, in Bomi, in Grand Bassa, in Cape if I follow in by phone, will be able to hear my information from reference to Care Radio. So it was a wonderful conversation we had here. Then I will tell you that Care Radio, the platform, Care Radio is crystal clear in my TV. The part of Sylvia, Asga, Asriala. It's a wonderful thing, Desmond.
So when is the team expected to arrive in Banga Bong County?
Yeah, we don't know yet, but the one we own now is like I said, it's expected.
Okay.
Anywhere we figure a job, then we will, if we cannot get the station any longer, then we will advance, the good advance, just by the
Technician.
the technician, yes, with a chosen matter that once we cannot get the station from in between, then we have to turn around and come back so that we can work on it and increase the frequency. But as of now, yes, I can tell you that you can drop from over any of the people you just stick to Care Radio 95.9 and you don't even have to tune into another frequency, just keep listening to 95.9. And this team is headed by the acting executive director, Mr. Samuel White Valentine, the actor Fala is here, and the technician, Mr. Joseph Martha, and of course, with Jefferson, we are here this afternoon on this assessment tour.
That's good. So it's a new day in the media landscape. It is a new time, a new innovation, and Care Radio is here to serve the public. So thanks for the team. My sincere gratitude to the entire team and all of you, station manager, Nyata, the rest of the team, the technician, you, Jefferson, you are doing a wonderful and very, very Herculean task to commute with the team. They want to say thank you and let's keep up the good job.
Thank you so much. And have a wonderful time.
Thank you so much, my dear brother. That's our reporter, and he's traveling along with the team, Jefferson Weah, and they're doing a magnificent job to making sure that they assess the signal strength of our station. So we are in Makidi. That's good. I mean, we are like a very good distance from here. We have traveled up to we are like, I've gone to Bond County. I've gone to several counties in this country now. So it's in the stretch that we're talking about. So again, you see, that is why you need to rush to come to us. Let's advertise a business for you because we are going far and wide. So our technicians will come back where we don't have our strength. We will improve and make sure that we are there because we want to make sure that our station is everywhere in this country and people will get us via the internet. I mean, our internet services are top notch already. Those of you watching on the social media, you can tell the videos are crystal clear. And we have a wonderful producer, Josh Ware is here, and you're always on time making sure that things happen. Let's go back to the letter. We'll soon take your calls. We'll soon take calls from the public. We've got a few things we want to talk about. So let's go back to the letter. So at this paragraph, it says, moreover, this clearly demonstrates your gross disregard for your statutory and responsibilities and amounts to ethical violations and gross breaches of their duty as contained in the Moravia City Corporation Human Resource Policy and the Labor Law of Liberia. This is where my attention is drawn. How can a policy at a particular ministry or agency or a corporation supersede the authority of the Constitution and gives right to people to express freedom of expression? Two employees are already out of the services of the Moravia City Corporation. We have 7 more to go. 7 more to go. I can read the remaining part of the letter because it's the same content of the first one we read. Now you see where we are. So today, Musa Hassan Belete wrote, and I will read what Musa Hassan Belete wrote. He is Nema County District number 7 representative. And he wrote this, and I'll read it for you. He said, Mr. President, it is imperative that you rein in your CSA Director General. He does not have the authority to infringe upon the rights of civil servants guaranteed by the Constitution. Folks, what have I said that is not in consonant with what the representative of District Number 7 in Lima County have said? Musa Hasability. So Musa Ability is a lawyer also. They are attorney at law or so. He understands the laws of the country. So he said the freedom of expression is guaranteed by law. The CFA cannot usurp the function of the Constitution. That is usurpation of function. He cannot take the function of the Constitution and decide to function as the Constitution. It is a violation. So they cannot say nobody should talk in the country, nobody should say anything about the president. That is totally disrespectful to the Constitution. So Musa Belete is saying to the president, you must act now or else we'll act for you. Let's read his remaining words. He said he does not have the authority to infringe upon the rights of civil servants guaranteed by Constitution. If you fail to act, it will be evident that you are using him to plot the civil service reset control over him. Or we will be compelled. We'll be compelled to consider this a warning. That is the legislator of District Number 7 in Lima County saying what he's saying. Josiah Joker must stop doing what he's doing. This thing could fragment violence in the country. If we're not careful, if we're not very careful, this thing could fragment violence in the country. And I'll read you what Abraham Dawes wrote. He said the Civil Service Agency, the CSA, recommitting the Civil Service Agency recommending dismissal of civil servants for forcing out on government issues, wrong move, should not be encouraged. This is wrong. Abraham Dawes, who is the senator of Montserrat County and a supporter of the current ruling establishment, is saying the civil service boss recommending for them to remove people because they discuss politics or because they disagree with the government. It is a wrong move. It is unconstitutional. No standing order in this country surpasses the standing order of the Constitution. Let's take a standing order. Standing order in a ministry or agency or corporation and the standing order of the country, the Constitution. What surpasses it first? The Constitution of the country takes precedent over any law. What is in law to do this or do that? It takes it. Now, Josiah Joker risked being removed if he's not careful. There's a legal remedy to this situation, and I'll read you that quickly before we go to the lines to take calls. The Speaker wrote a piece. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, you know, he's a counselor, Funati Kofa, so he knows the law. So he wrote something, and I'll read you what he wrote. He said that the Speaker of the House of Representatives has made a serious constitutional argument that the Civil Service Agency is an illegal entity by the existence of the 1986 Constitution that calls for the creation of a commission and not an agency that was created in the 1970s. The 1986 Constitution says there should be commissions. They set up a commission. The civil service supposed to be a commission, not an agency. So Josiah Joker is acting illegally already, and he is stepping his bound. So the lawmakers would just decommission the agency and decide to create a new law establishing the commission. He will not be the head of that commission. That will be the end of Josiah Joker. Let me read you further. Right after this, we'll start to take your calls. The 1986 Constitution on page 27, Chapter 8 called for the establishment of autonomous public commissions. In Article 89, it is specified. In Article 89, it is declared that the following autonomous public commissions are hereby established. One, or A, the Civil Service Commission. Is it a commission now? No, it is an agency. B, Elections Commission. Is it established? Yes, legal. The General Auditing Commission. Is it established? Yes, legal. The legislatures are enact laws for the governments of these commissions and create other agencies as may be necessary for effective operation of government. Autonomous arguments. It was made fluent that the Constitution did not say it be established or shall establish. The Constitution said that these commissions are hereby established. Commission will operate. The Constitution left that the legislature will not, and the legislature, not the executive, to issue standing orders. Everything you hear, that's standing order. The standing order should not be released by the executive. It should be released by the legislature. It should not be released by the executive. And these are things that need serious thought. That is why, if Josiah Joker is not careful enough, he could risk being removed. And once it's removed, when I say removed, that commission could be that commission could be disallowed, and before you know it, he doesn't have a job. That is why we all must be careful on how we proceed. Our country has come a long way. If people are being dismissed because they express interest or they express political, I don't know where we are headed. Josiah Joker must be made to understand that Liberia is not a property of an individual. It is a property of all Nigerians. And the best way we think we can run this country is for us to coexist. You have to coexist with your friends. You can have, because you have political interest, and if we're even talking about the code of conduct, they say, the code of conduct say, people who are appointed by the president should not take part in any political team. Civil servants are not appointed by the government. They're not appointed by the president. So there is nothing. In fact, that portion of the code of conduct, I have serious issues with it. Because it violates the portion of the Constitution that speaks about freedom of expression. It infringes on the rights of people. That people will not have the freedom to express issues that they have problem with. We got to be serious in this country. We ought to be serious in this country. If Liberia will get better, it must get better when we get serious. When we decide to get serious with ourselves, and we decide to take issues based on responsibility. It's not because we are aggrieved. It's not because we have political side. But we must take issues based on how we see it. How can they see it if was go on radio, national radio? You listen to the audio I play. Go on national radio and say, we are recommending that 9 employees of the MCC should be dismissed. That is totally wrong, and it will be wrong today, it will be wrong tomorrow, it will be wrong any day. Short break, we'll come back. We'll take your calls on 0772 758958 again. 0772 758958 is the orange number, and the blue side is 0886 393184. Again, 0886 39 3184. The WhatsApp number is pinned right on the screen on our live Facebook feed. Plus 231 886 681 198. Let's take this short break. When we come back, we start to pick your calls. So all loyalty to no political party. So you can now put your calls through on the line 0772 758958 or 0886 393184 and lend your thoughts on some of the issues that we are discussing. Uh, you have the freedom just that you need to be very, very civil, no insult to any politician. You have to be civil, so you can call us up on those numbers 02758958. Again, 0772 758958 or 0886 393184. The local numbers to call us on, and you will be live on Kia Radio 95.9. Those of you on the social media, probably you are outside the country and you want to air your views as well. The number is seen right on the screen. You will see it there, but let me just call it for you. Plus 231 886 681 198. The WhatsApp numbers, WhatsApp number that's pinned for you. You can call us up on that number, and of course, we'll get you. Those of you who are in Liberia and around the counties you are in Liberia, call us up on 0772 758958 0886 the numbers. Definitely you can be a part of the program right here on Kia Radio 95.9. We are the newest sensation in the country and we owe loyalty to no political party. We are here to discuss the issues that confront our country, Mama Liberia. So let's get your calls. Those of you who are interested in making your views heard on this platform, you have that leverage now. We have given you the time to call us up 0772 758958 0772 758958 or 0886 393184 is the number you can call to be a part of the program. So Liberia is not owned by a politician or by anybody. Our country is for us, and we all must work to making this country better. Liberia is not a place where people come to just violate the laws. That is why we continue to tell our people, if there is a government officials in government, or there are government officials in government that are creating problems that could plunge the country into chaos, we must checkmate them. And that is why you have the freedom to speak. So nobody should censor that particular freedom that you have, that freedom of expression, that freedom of taking issues and discussing them maturely. Nobody should usurp that function of that is a function of a citizen to discuss issues. So when somebody is trying to usurp the function of that person, it is a problem. And we must step in. It is a problem. It is a problem today. It's a problem tomorrow. It is a problem any day. Our country is far above individualism. We should now be thinking how we can do our country in a way that will pay loyalty to our country, that is patriotism and not individualism. When people are more loyal to themselves, But we know Liberia will get better. The only way Liberia can get better is for all of us. All of us, we join ranks. We join ranks to doing those things that are nice of us to do. It shows how patriotic we are. You can't come to power and start removing other people because they discuss issues of politics. That is against the ethics to the highest level. You can censor, censor these people. You what to discuss and what not to discuss. When they bring insults, you can call them for questioning. They must answer questions why their their discussions pertaining to national issues have turned insulted or they are real invectives. But when they are not reading invectives and they are discussing the issue, there is no reason to recommend their dismissals. That's the wrong way to go. You heard Senator Dillon saying it is a wrong way to go. He wrote on his Facebook page. Those of you who follow the senator, you can go there. Go on his Facebook page, you'll see it. You cannot start to remove people because they're expressing issues about politics. The only thing the Constitution provides is for them to be responsible in some of the discussions. For them to be responsible. For them to be responsible. So they must take responsibility of some of the things that they discuss. So if they discuss and insult, they must take responsibility of them. But if you think you can just remove people, look at what has happened to the labor ministry today. The entire function of the labor ministry came to a momentary standstill because there was a letter written by the CFA. There was a letter written by the CFA that the CFA should let go 51 persons from the payroll of the labor ministry. That is tantamount to confusion. That is tantamount to confusion. And it must not be encouraged. This must not be encouraged. Today must not be encouraged because the people that will be laid off, they have families. They have families. And their families must survive. Their family survives on their hustle. The survivability of their family is hinged on the little job that they're doing. And if you remove them, they will not be able to fetch for their family things that they used to get before. This could send that family into abject poverty and send them below the poverty line. So if you think that you want to do the right thing, do the right thing. Stop indulging into things that will create chaos in the country. The saber saying he has gone beyond his limit. And it is about time that the House of Representatives call this man to a check. Call this man to a check. Let this man be made to account for some of the things that he's doing. This is the man who just jumped and went to the legislature and said he went there to effectuate reforms. Are you the one to effectuate reforms at the legislature? No. That legislature is another branch of the Liberian government. That the representatives you see there, they are the direct representatives of the people. They represent us. You cannot tell us about reform. That one, in short, that what I mean. You can't tell about reform. In fact, the executives should look at themselves as employers that employ them. The government is supposed to see, the executive is supposed to see herself that the House of Representatives and the House of Senate are the ones who employ them because we vested the power in the legislature to steer the affairs of the country. To steer the affairs of the country. So again, We must all do what we ought to do to keep our country safe. We must do it to keep the country safe. They make it up saying you want to remove people because they discuss politics. No, and it's infringing on the rights of those people. They have the right. The rights are given to them by the Constitution. Nobody can usurp that function. Nobody can take that from them. It is their, it is inalienable. It is a right that is given to them by the laws of the country. So you can't run and say you want to remove them because they express political issues or they discuss political issues in the country. It is wrong today. It is wrong tomorrow, and it will be wrong any day. Our country must be, there should be sanity. There should be sanity in the country. So we're still taking your calls, 077-275-8958. Is the orange number to be a part of the show. You want to make your contribution, 0772-75-8952 or 0886-393184. Numbers you can dial to be a part of the show right here. Those of you on the social media and you want to be a part of the program, you can just use the WhatsApp number +231 886 681 198 is the WhatsApp number pinned right on your screen. You can see it there. You can be a part. 0772 758958 or 0886 3184 are the numbers you can call to be a part of the program right here on the radio, Care 95.9, the radio service of Care Humanitarian Foundation. Of course, we are here 24/7. And of course, this program, we will do our best. As of next week, we will start connecting with county correspondents. They will start giving us reports. We'll start having guests. We'll start having people coming to discuss issues. And of course, so all we want in Liberia is that country that we cannot be deported from. Some say this is our common denominator. And of course, we can only express that our country will get better. And lastly, before we maybe close, while we are still awaiting your calls, the legislature was stand up right at about this time. The legislature must stand up right about this time. If the legislature cannot stand up,